Okay, this is the daily money making setups for June 18th, Monday, on the S&P Emini Futures contract using the 1500 tick bar chart. And when we look at the day here, we see in the overnight session it went to a high, and then right here we see a price cycle bar to the downside. So we're expecting it to come down. Now that we see that it's coming to the downside on the price cycle, we're looking to see where it probably will come to a conclusion. As in all cycles, the cycle is going to end at some point, and the selling in the downward movement is going to dissipate and give over to the up cycle. So we track these price cycle bars here. Here's a blue one, here's a blue one, and you can see that these are below this red dotted line. So this red dotted line is green up here. This is the stop exit line, and they're continuing below that, and they're continuing on down here. Let's move that over here until it gets down to right here, and this is right around, let's see, 34, 32, 31. This is right where the market opened. So that downward movement today continued on down, and now we're looking to see any change in direction. Well, we see that change in direction right here. First we get a doji right here, and then we get the setup. So this is going to represent buying. All this other price cycle bars represented selling till we get down here, and this represents buying at the bottom. The way that we know that, one is by this setup here, which is the classical setup with the timing alert dot, the next bar being green, and the low of that bar being higher than the low of the previous bar, and this bar being a doji. And then also a significant way we know that is right here is an outline of a blue bar, which is a price cycle bar, and it goes above the stop exit line, and the stop exit line turns green, as well as over here there's another blue price cycle bar that's above the stop exit line. So we know this now to be the bottom, and so now we know that that was buying at the bottom, and here's the bottom continuing to the upside until we get another price cycle bar here above the stop exit line, and so we interpret that as price still continuing to go up. And when we look at the price cycles, we would look down here, we would see that here was supply, here was the end of that from the energy, that's this indicator right here for internal energy. From the energy, the price cycle ended right there, and here's a small upside to the price cycle, and then the cycle continued down, and then the cycle ended right over here. So that's on the energy side of it. From the sentiment side of it, the price cycle ended right here, where the momentum line is crossing up through the sentiment line and crossing up through the bottom of the oscillator. So the price cycle ended right there. So on the energy, it ended here. On the price cycle, it ended here. And so now we're looking to see where the next phase is going to be. Well, we follow along with the price cycles. Here's the price cycle of the uptrend, of the buying. So it comes over here. Now weakness comes in. Weakness doesn't mean there's supply. It just means that the demand is falling off. And clearly we see that here and we don't see much supply coming in at all. And actually we get a trend alert dot here, and that will be this trend up here that it's forecasting. So that cycle ends right here. This up cycle right here ends right here. There's a small amount of supply, and so that you can interpret these bars here in the price cycle, the price cycle bars, which are the blue ones, as accumulation, because as they are right on the support and resistance line here, basically, and priced at this point, there's no demand, because we see no demand right here, but there's no supply either. Very small amount of supply, so there's no demand and no supply. So this is just an accumulation area. Now we have to know which way are they accumulating? Are they accumulating to take the price up or to take the price down? Well, that's answered right over here when we finally get this price cycle bar that is well above the stop exit line and goes up above the resistance line. And so now the VWAP serves as a support line. So now we know they're taking it up, and we see that this is the beginning here of the next price cycle, which is a longer one. So, and the beginning of the price cycle as far as the cinnamon oscillator, of course, starts right here. A couple bar, right at that bar right there, that blue price cycle bar right there that you can see. So now we know it's taking it up to the upside. So we take that to the upside, and as always, again, the way that a trading cycle works is they're going to buy low, sell high, or they're going to go from low points to high points, just like the cinnamon oscillator goes from a lower bound to an upper bound and vice versa. Well, we watch price come up to this point here. Now, at this point here, we see the price cycle bars actually have more of a classical definition. We see that the price was overextended because when we're reading the VWAP line, yellow is a normal uptrend, green is extended, and blue is overextended. Well, that means that the uptrend is a bit overextended right here. We actually get a trend dot to trend alert dot to the downside, and we get a good signal for selling at the top right here. What we don't have in conjunction with this is a timing alert. We don't get that timing alert till over here, till it comes all the way up to the contraband. Remember, this is a contraband, and this is a contraband here. So when we get this at the contraband here, this timing alert, we see it also comes with the doji. So this would be the place with the classical setup to take the contrarian trade and take it to the downside. So we see that price is falling below the stop exit line, and here are blue price cycle bars, and this would represent that they're selling. So this is selling. We just need to know what's going on. We don't need to know who's doing it, but we need to know what's going on and when it's happening. So these are selling that's happening during this downtrend here. There's a small cycle reaction to it. So this was the up cycle. Here, for as far as energy goes, here's the down cycle that doesn't end till over here. And so when this goes up, we see that the energy, the supply side energy, is dissipating, but then we get a blue price cycle bar to it right there. And we know that the way that the trend line here works, it's also a regression to the mean line, and this then being the mean line, price regresses from the contrarian band. So now it is regressing, coming down. Again, here is selling coming in, here is selling coming in, here is selling coming in, until it comes down to the support line, which gets a timing alert dot. And that is also a point where we now can take a trend trade. Well, in our trend trade management, it tells us to look at any, when the VWAP is yellow, we can look at any timing alert dot that's below the price bar and set our order entry 2 points above the high of that bar. Well, the high of this bar was 27.72, so we're going to get in at 27.74, and that basically is right at this area right here. That's at this area right here. And you can see that is within the established upcycle to this. So we got in at 27.74, and when this dipped down below the stop exit line, that's like at 27.75. The high of that is 27.76.25, and the low is 27.75. So right at that area, anywhere in this area, we could have exited our trade for 1.5 to 2 points. You could have ridden it out up to here, but the way the trade management works is you would have got out right in this area here, or else over here at the high when the bars started to decline in energy. So then we move along. So now what we've done so far is we've taken our trade down here because we knew that this was buying taking place because of this bar here and this bar here. And then we knew that it was accumulating to the upside. So we got in here like at 27.62, and then we would get out here at 27.77. So that's 15 points right there. We've taken that down to the downside where we took the, let's say we took the low of that, 27.77, and we took it down to right down to here, which was at our regression to the mean line. So that's low is 70, so that's another 7 points. So that's 22 points. Now we take this up here. This only accounts, this trend trade, this is a trend trade, and so you use the trend trade management rules, and this only counts for like 2 points here. Now, for the rest of the day, you can actually take this because this closed below the stop exit line, as did this. So you can take those as selling at the top. You can take this as selling at the top too. But here's a more classical sign of buying that's coming in at the bottom. So here's that cycle on the energy as far as the internal energy of the movement. The cycle goes up from there and comes back down, and it ends right here. So this is the no demand. But not only is it no demand as price and energy were falling off, but it is the accumulation of buys. This is climax buying. You know how they generally say, well, this is going to produce a large volume bar, and this would be climax selling. This is not climax selling here. This is buying at the bottom. This is climax buying for this short price cycle right here. Price cycle went up to there, and here we see the blue price cycle bars, and this represents climax buying. Here's a trend alert dot. So you can take this as a trend trade, or you can take it also as a discretionary trade. And because you know that there's climax buying here, you can enter in quicker and take that up for the rest of the day. So that's how the S&P E-mini setups were set up for today. So if you want to take 2, 4, 10 or more points out of it, it was not a difficult day to read as long as you're following the price cycles and you're following the indicators of the energy behind price movement, as well as the sentiment and conviction that is driving movement. And then, of course, looking at the short-term trend, you know that when you get the trend starting, short-term trend starting to angle up like this, that you're also in for usually an extended trending movement. And it does clearly over to here where we went short. So that is it for today. This will be posted over on the daily money making setups on processtrading.com. So if you want to look more about the price cycles and things, you can go over there, and it's on the front page video as well as it's on the training videos, and there are some excellent blogs over there, the Price Money, or the E-mini Money Minute and the Stock Money Minute. So if you have any questions, down at the bottom on processtrading.com, there's a contact form where you can leave your email and leave a question, and we will get back to you. If you want these daily setups, then just hit the subscribe button and they should come to you, and I'll see you on the next video.